Wednesday, July 2, 2025, 4:18 p.m. United States District Court, Northern District of Georgia. Diddy stepped out of the courthouse and into the thick, humid breeze drifting in from the parking lot behind the building. No cheers. No boos. Just silence, and a lone strip of yellow tape still fluttering across the entrance of the adjacent FBI field office, where an emergency meeting had ended just 3 hours earlier without a single word to the press. At 8:05 a.m., the final juror from the original 12 was found dead. It was Mr. Luther Haskins, the jury foreman. His body was discovered inside a walk-in freezer behind a Kroger, just 3 blocks away. In the pocket of his coat, a USB drive. Its contents remain undisclosed. By 9:47 a.m., the alternate jury had been summoned by federal order. And at exactly 2:12 p.m., they entered the deliberation room. Less than 2 hours later, the verdict came down. Diddy, acquitted on all charges. No press conference. No explanation. No official court statement. Just one quiet, national headline echoing across the country. Did justice die on the eve of Independence Day? That morning began with an eerie stillness. No sirens. No crowds. Just fog clinging to the lower windows of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. The granite steps were empty. The air was heavy. And the security presence was thicker than usual. No trial docket had been made public. No one said why. Courtroom 4F, a space rarely used for high-profile cases, was the first to be sealed. Yellow crime scene tape, not standard court procedure, was stretched tightly around the door handle and across the hallway, almost like a visual gag order. Nothing gets in. Nothing gets out. A full media blackout had been enforced the night before. No filming. No reporting. The press wasn't even given a list of attendees. Human rights observers were denied access. International judicial monitors were never invited. Inside, the only confirmed participants were court staff and individuals directly tied to the case. No one said Diddy's name in the main hall. Conversations died the moment a stranger walked by. The hallway lights on the 4th floor flickered cold and dim, but no one called for repairs. A technician reportedly ran an inspection the night before, but left no log, no notes, nothing. And when the defendant entered the building, it was through a side door. No cuffs. No guards. Surveillance footage showed only a backlit silhouette in a raised gray coat. Calm, unhurried steps. No face visible. Strangely, every courthouse camera recording him showed sudden pixelation, blurry at the exact moment he appeared, as if resolution dropped by design. Inside 4F, the new jury was already seated. Their identities remain unconfirmed. None had appeared in any public records tied to the original trial. No DOJ documentation explained the switch. No internal memo was sent to court staff. Some speculated they were a federal emergency panel. Others said it more plainly. They were just told to sit in those seats. Then the internal alert leaked. The final original juror had been found dead that morning. He had served as foreman, the man who led the push to convict. Local police were barred from the scene. Only an FBI rapid response unit arrived. They gave no statements, filed no paperwork, and shared no findings. Word of the discovery spread quickly through courthouse staff. Moments later, all activity in 4F paused for several minutes. No announcement was made. The trial continued as if nothing had happened. Inside the courtroom, silence dominated. Not tension, absence. No eye contact. No commentary. The judge entered without formal introduction, turned a page, confirmed the defendant's name, and gave a subtle nod to begin. There were no opening statements. No arguments. Both prosecution and defense submitted pre-printed documents. A witness was brought in, asked if they recognized the defendant, nodded once, and exited. No cross-examination. No objections. None of it followed federal trial protocol. Downstairs, technical staff trying to access the case file from the internal server were blocked. The screen returned a single message. Access denied. Emergency clearance level 4. The only recorded counter-response didn't come from a journalist or a politician. It came from a former data engineer who had once worked with the federal court's archival system. On July 3rd, he published a 480-word post on his self-hosted blog. His claim: the trial records from that day weren't just sealed, they were removed from the logic of government infrastructure entirely. Not hidden. Not classified. Non-existent within the system's own internal index. 28 minutes later, the post vanished. The domain was locked. By the end of that week, Diddy's name had disappeared from the national news cycle. Public conversation shifted: trade talks, Independence Day parades, foreign affairs, no protests. No witness interviews. No complaints filed. Just a quiet gap in the annals of the U.S. legal system, a blank space that all institutions now seem united in guarding, as if its mere existence would tear at something none of them dare name. July 3, 2025, a cybersecurity specialist in Seattle received an anonymous email. Attached was a file titled sync_log_3JULNO audio. No images. Just a log table, timestamps of access from over 40 unique devices in 6 states, all connecting to one server. U.S. Fed, custody, ATL04, no agency claimed it. No owner identified. Yet the access times aligned perfectly with the Diddy trial. From 08:00 to 16:35, each connection was cloaked. Yet each synchronized with millisecond precision. Why were terminals from Florida to Illinois remotely syncing to a trial supposedly sealed inside a single courtroom? No legal body could explain it. No archive authority acknowledged it. Such perfect digital choreography has never been documented in public federal records. That same day, a Norwegian cybersecurity NGO published a sensor report from their electromagnetic surveillance array stationed at U.S. government sites. Their findings? The fourth floor of the Northern District of Georgia courthouse spiked to 11x normal EM thresholds for 42 minutes, before plunging back to zero. The only comparable incident? A classified national signal blackout in 2012.no response came from Homeland Security. Meanwhile, traffic camera technicians in Atlanta observed a 0.2-second freeze-frame glitch at Cortland and Gilmer. The frame distorted like something had invaded the feed. Signal analysis confirmed it matched known disruptor patterns used to scramble high-security recording systems. Not civilian tech. N01 explained what a classified interference burst was doing on a public street. July 4, 2025.2 Major banks in New York flagged a series of untraceable internal transactions. The accounts weren't tied to any civilian identity. All were from a priority tier, usually reserved for federal-linked programs. The transfer memo simply read, "Reorientation Operation J701" at the banks recognized the code. Treasury officials gave no comment. Audit trails collapsed into dead loops. No signature. No source. That same week, a federal social monitoring unit filed a 9-page internal report. Its conclusion, bolded, underlined, there is no evidence of public backlash to the July 3 trial, because the public was unaware it occurred. The file vanished within 48 minutes, no view log. No archive. Not even metadata to prove it existed. A Georgetown data scientist analyzing social media activity noted something chilling. During the 72 hours surrounding the trial, federal justice discourse dropped by 83%. Not due to holidays. Not international news. Not algorithm shifts. Just silence, a silence no one enforced, yet everyone obeyed. On a locked forum used by retired federal judges and ethics monitors, one anonymous user posted a cryptic warning. When every layer of the system looks away at once, it isn't by command, it's instinct. A wordless signal that says, "Now is the time not to look." The post was deleted within 30 minutes. The forum was shuttered. These fragments, once scattered, now align into something darker. Not a cover-up, a record. The Diddy case is no longer a trial. It's a junction in a chain, and the other end of that chain remains unseen. Attempts to verify these anomalies are disappearing. Backups now encrypt themselves beyond civilian standards. Servers in Switzerland, Japan, and Israel emit signals that no cyber team can trace. No one calls it system control. But everything now behaves like a system scrubbing its own memory. No outrage. No inquiry. No signal of life. Only blank rows of data. Like a circuit still running, long after the body it served has gone dark.